Annie, and we've got Breta, your wonder dog. She's there with you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for it. She's gone now. She was there for a second. Hello, darling girl. Oh, she loves her mummy.
Does love her mummy.
She loves her mummy. Your gorgeous black Labrador.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to tell us, Annie. Do you want to start from the beginning, because she's got quite a history, hasn't she? I felt quite emotional reading your story about her. It's just so lovely. So yes. So start from the beginning with when you got her.
Well, I suddenly, out of the blue, just decided I needed a black Labrador bitch in my life. I've already got a yellow male, as you know, and he's nearly 10. Well, he's nearly 11 now. And I was looking on the internet, and I tried some of the centres locally, but because my son's got two children at the time, we were 3, they wouldn't allow us to have them. And my daughter found the beautiful picture of her looking very healthy on Pre-Loved, I think it was. Yeah. And I rang this chap, and he told me that he was a gamekeeper, and that she was a gun dog, and she'd done her service, and he wanted quite a lot of cash, but I thought, well, it wasn't as much as it would be normally, so I drove all the way to Welshpool, which is 100 miles from me, all through the back roads. Yeah. And when I got there, he was late, and he came and got this dog, jumped out of the back of a van, an actual truck, really. And I looked at this poor dog, and I said, look, can I take her for a little walk? And as I shown you the picture of her, how thin, and she smelled awful, and she was so frightened. And I had a little walk round. My friend came with me, and I just burst into tears. And I thought, I cannot leave, whatever situation it is, I cannot leave this dog in this condition. I could see she'd had pups. And she was
especially being a Labrador, they are just the most sensitive, beautiful breed, and to see an animal like that being used, she was just used, wasn't she?
Was. And she was so painfully thin, but I just gave the guy the cash. He was a bit shifty, I don't know quite what was going on, but I thought, I'm not leaving this dog in this condition. I didn't mean to have it as a rescue, but in my mind it was a rescue, and I actually cried all the way home. My friend stank to high heaven, because we got her home, and she was panting and obviously quite anxious, and we just had to put her in the bath straight away. And she had an ear infection. I took her to the vet. She had an ear infection, and her teeth were bad. And that was in November of 19. Yeah. And she apparently just had a season, but she had a season a few weeks later, and obviously the pandemic hit, and she was having seasons every 10 weeks, and I booked in for her to have her teeth done, but it had to be postponed. And she went to have her teeth looked at and cleaned in the June of 2020, and that's when they found this big lump. And the vet was very grave, and was basically quite fatalistic, but said, there is an option. You could go, fortunately she's insured, you could go to the Langford Veterinary Hospital at Bristol. And he showed all the pictures to them, and they said yes, they would have a look and everything. And she went and had an operation whereby they had to take 3 teeth out from the side to access the palate. It was just the hard palate, fortunately it hadn't gone to the bone. They removed the hard palate and used the inside of her skin of her lip, pulled through and sewn up. Took a biopsy of her lymph glands in her neck, and they were clear. Good. And I decided there and then, having been a vegan myself, is when I think I got in touch with yourself to find out what I could do. And when I spoke to the oncologist, she said the only option was to try this trial vaccine that's got a very low success rate anyway. But she had the course of that. And then she's been having a booster every 6 months and been on this vegan food ever since, which I'm sure has given her absolute bounds of energy. She's a completely different dog. She's really come out of herself. Breta.
Yeah.
And apparently only 10% last a year, and she managed that. And in July, it will be 2 years, and only 2% make that. And God does call her the Wonder Dog, and she is my best friend.
Oh, Annie, that's just such a lovely story, because goodness, I mean, what you've done is you've given her a life. She didn't have a life before, but what a happy life she has with you. And you wouldn't know that she has. I mean, we saw her briefly. You'll have to put your iPad down so we can see her face. Yeah. I'll have to.
My hand. Breta.
No good, Breta. Oh, and she's so shiny. You wouldn't. Oh, hello, Breta. What a darling girl.
She's talking to you.
Girl, I can hear your name. Oh, and she just adores you, Annie. You've really saved her. But gosh, she looks so well. So how old is she now then?
Well, apparently about 7, I believe. About six or 7. We're not 100% certain. I think 6 by what the guy told me. She was 4 years and 4 months when I got her. So technically she's 6.
So she's yes,
not 7. But
and her coat is amazing, and she do you know, her condition is just perfect, because you can't see any ribs. She's got she's just, the amount of food you're feeding her is just right, that she has, and
she loves it. Her eyes pop when you when I try her with it, or my other dog. He's on it now, as you know, Roman.
Yes.
And his energy levels are amazing, and he's nearly 11, and he's looking really good as well.
Wonderful, because what you're doing for both of them now is you're giving them all their energy. All their nutrients are coming from the most natural source. Like, you're vegan, you know how nutritious it is, and you've shared that with her, which in every capacity is going to help her health. Obviously it helps her healing as well, because she would have had quite an such a gorgeous face. It's the healing process that. Now, did she go vegan as soon as she had the operation, or was it a while after?
Pretty much as soon as I had to spoon feed her with some meat, which I didn't like doing to start with, because that was all I could get her. So she couldn't have anything hard. But as soon as that was over, that's when I changed her. It always never struck nicely with me anyway. They don't need it.
They don't need it. Absolutely. She's just proof of good health, because the recovery from getting a pure plant source is perfect. And now it's the solo vegetal she's having, and she doesn't struggle with the biscuits at all, with having had some teeth removed. Does she just chew on the other side, I suppose? Or
I think manages. She's a Labrador.
Yes, that's true. They have been known to just hoover the food and not chew at all. So no, you're quite right.
Loves any fruit and vegetables, everything. She'll eat it. Yeah, don't you, darling? We say, are you vegan?
Wonderful. And you've disappeared, Annie. There we go. We're back again. And do you do any home cooking with her, or is that something?
No, I've not tried that yet.
No.
Yes. I work quite a lot, but they do have a good hour or more walk every day in the woods when it's not chucking it down with rain. And they just keep going. I mean, they don't come back off bouncing. Aren't you, sweetheart?
Look how happy she is. Oh, Annie, you're just a wonderful success story of health. You've done everything right. And with Roman, have you noticed a change with transition?
Oh, absolutely. Within a week, 2 weeks, his energy levels. I mean, you say he's nearly 11, and he keeps going for an hour, and he lost a lot of that excess fat as well. He's a beautiful specimen. Yes. Do you want to get him?
Yes, I'd love to see. Yes, we'd love to see Roman. And then Breta's going to follow you.
He wants to be, darling. Here he
Ah,
goes.
there he is, sweet boy.
Baby
Hello,
boy.
Roman. Oh, who also adores you.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's
Oh,
absolutely
and
lovely.
and they obviously love each other, because what
Yes.
you're doing as well is you're extending their lifespan for both of them.
Yes.
Which is exactly what you want. Oh, you've given them such a happy life with those long walks and those long healthy, and both of them will just live longer now with and well, exactly the same as in
Both.
human. Yeah, with having them both. And actually a weight loss in the Labrador when they're older is a huge benefit. The more weight they lose, the longer they will live, actually.
Yeah.
If they're very, very lean when they're older, they do live a long time.
Yes, he is. He has, and he's very strong too. He's powerful.
Yeah.
Very soft as they are, but he's very strong, very powerful, beautiful physique, I think, for an old boy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that'll be all the long walks that build his muscle, and so important to keep him going. Oh, that's just lovely. I love your story, and I commend you for everything you've done with both of them. Well, particularly with Breta, with taking her on. I know it works both ways, doesn't it? She's giving you as much joy and love as you've given her, and the life that she had would be completely forgotten. So yes, so very well done, and thank you for sharing your story with us.